Hey guys, so today I just wanted to talk about what goes on everyone's face because I know a lot of people, they go into like Target or Walgreens or somewhere where they sell makeup and they see all this stuff and they're like, what is all of this? So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to explain what foundations are, what a powder is, what concealer is, what a primer is. So let's get into that. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a primer. Now, what is a primer? A primer is something that is going to smooth out your skin to give you a even application from your foundation. So there is about a billion different types of primers. There's something that's going to mattify your skin, some that are going to give you a glow, there are some that are going to make your pores smaller. There's a primer for everyone out there. There are some that are even tinted, like in different colors. Like L'Oreal has one that's green, and what that's supposed to do is just kind of like contrast the redness in your face so that you can have a more even application. So I have two right here that I'm going to talk about really quick. This is a POREfessional by Benefit, and the reason why I like this one is because I have really big pores like everywhere, especially around the nose area, so I concentrate that product there, and then whatever is left over I just smooth it all over my face. And then I have this one here. This is from L'Oreal. This is just a Magic Perfecting Base, and it basically does the same thing. I switch off between the two, but I don't use this one anymore because it's done. But yeah, those two, those are meant to smooth out your face so that you can have a smoother application when you apply your foundation. If you have really oily skin, you want to get one that's going to mattify your skin. If you have really dry skin, you want to get one that's going to give you a glow. And like I said, there's a primer for everyone. It's just about testing them out and seeing what works for you. Look at whatever flaws you have on your face and then get a primer that will suit that. I looked at my face and I realized I have giant holes all over my face, so I got one that's gonna smooth those out so that when I apply my foundation, all the foundation doesn't just like cake in there. So now what I'm gonna talk about is a foundation, which is what goes on after your primer. Now again, just like the primer, there's a billion different kinds of foundations. There's one for oily skin, there's one for dry skin, there's one for full coverage, there's one for little coverage, and then there's a tinted moisturizer. And I'll get into what a tinted moisturizer is after I talk about the foundation. So again, you just need to know what is going on with your face. I look at my face and I see, the pores. I look at the rest of my skin and I see scars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one that's going to be full coverage. Now, do I have dry skin or do I have oily skin? I have really oily skin, so I'm going to get one that's going to be mattifying. So the one that I like to use is the Revlon Color Stay. This is probably one of the best foundations I've used since I started using foundation. And if you have like perfect skin, basically, you do not want to use that one because you will think it's the heaviest thing in the entire world. So you want to use something that'll be like less, not less, but have less coverage. And then you have some that are like in squeezy tubes. You have some that are like in a mousse consistency like this. They come in different things. It's just all about what your skin can handle. I know some people, they can't wear foundation because they feel like they're like being attacked by this goop. Well, you don't want to use something that's going to be heavy. You want to use something that's kind of lighter, like for example, the CoverGirl Naturelux foundation. That one's very lightweight and it'll give you, enough coverage to smooth out your face, but not necessarily cover like a pimple or a scar or a mole, for example. A tinted moisturizer is basically like a very puny version of a foundation. It's a moisturizer that's tinted. And basically what the purpose of a tinted moisturizer is to just kind of even out your skin. It won't cover up anything, it'll just kind of even you out. So, like I said, if you have like pretty much like perfect normal skin, then you want to use a tinted moisturizer just to even out your face so it doesn't look, patchy. Now there's also a powder foundation. I have one here from Sephora, and this is just a loose powder. I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not. But you basically grab this, put it on your face. I like to use it after my foundation, like if my foundation didn't cover up something, then I put that powder on and I just buff it into the skin. There's one for everyone, just like there is a primer. It's all about just testing out what you have or what you're gonna get. It'll be a trial and error process because you won't just pick out a foundation and be like, this is the one. It'll be like, okay, I don't want to use these anymore. Well, you need to figure out what you have. Do your research. A great place to do your research about makeup and stuff is this website called makeupalley.com, and I'll link it in the description box for you guys so you guys can go check it out. But when I started off with makeup, I would go to Makeup Alley and just figure out, why people liked it, why people hated it, so that I wouldn't be wasting my money. Also, what you can do is see what the return policy is at the store you're buying your makeup at, and see if they'll let you return it or exchange it or something like that. That way, you're not wasting your money on things you're not going to use, So now I'm going to get into a powder. Now with powders, it's a lot simpler than a foundation and a primer, and just because it's just right to the point, it's a powder. Now what is a powder going to do? It's either going to give you some coverage, some color, or just going to set your makeup. So there's different types of powders, like for example there is a translucent powder, which is just a powder that's going to be clear. Somebody that's very tan can use it, and somebody that's very pale can use it. There is a just a loose powder that can either give you coverage or it'll just set your makeup, like I said. And then there's corrective powders, which is what I'm going to show you. And when I show this to my friends, they all like freak out. They're like, what are you putting on your face? It's like, shut up, let me explain. So I have some right here. This is the e.l.f. High definition powder, and this is basically just a loose powder again, just like that. It has the little holes in there. You put it into the lid, buff your brush in there, and just put it to your face. Now, like I said, this is a translucent powder, so anyone can use it, and it'll just set your makeup. If you have really oily skin, you can put this on, and it'll just kind of mattify your skin a little bit. And then, like I said, there is, a powder foundation that'll actually work like a liquid foundation or a cream foundation, but in a powdered form. This is probably the best for like somebody who has oily skin. And then you have some that are that are just like flat. They're like in a compact, if that makes sense. And then you have corrective powders. Now I'm trying to show you guys here what it looks like. Basically there's a green powder, a yellow powder, a blue powder, and a pink powder. Now when people first see these powders, they're like, oh my god, like how does that not show up on your face? And the reason for that is because they're kind of like half translucent and half corrective. So what they're going to do, they're going to counteract any colors that are on your face that kind of don't belong there. Like I said, like the green one, for example, is going to counteract the redness in your face. The yellow one is going to counteract blue, and vice versa, just things like that. So if you have like a lot of redness on your face, something like this is going to be really great. This is my favorite powder, and not only does it like remove any color that really shouldn't be there, but it also sets my foundation. And it's very lightweight, and I love it. That's all I can really say about it. Okay, so now this is not hairspray. What is this? This is a setting spray. What is the setting spray gonna do? Set your makeup. Now, I have two different kinds of sprays. This is one that's gonna set your makeup. It's this e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and that's exactly what it does. And then I have this, which is like a face quencher. Like, for example, if you have like a lot of foundation going on, a lot of makeup-nicity on your face, then you can use a little bit of a spray, one of those like makeup setting sprays, and you can just spray it on, and it'll make you feel a little better. Now, Urban Decay has like 3, I believe. There's one that's gonna set your makeup for a really long time. There's one for oily skin, and I think there's one that's gonna give you like a glow. So again, just like the primer and just like a foundation, there's a setting spray for everyone. And what the good thing about a setting spray is the title of the spray is basically gonna give you what it is. For example, like the Makeup Mist and Set. Urban Decay's All Nighter. It's gonna make you have your makeup last all night, and just things like that. Like I said, it's not something you need to use. All of these things, it's not something you need to use. It's just what you feel like you need, and just things like that. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to talk about concealer. Now, the reason why I left concealers last is just because there's a lot of talk about when does concealer go on, before or after your foundation. Now, really, it's all up to you. It's what you prefer. There is no rule that says you have to put it on before your foundation. You have to put it on after your foundation. It's just when you think you need it. Like, for example, you put on your foundation, you see a spot, it's not going to get covered, you use a concealer. or if you have bags under your eyes and you want to put the concealer on, or you put the concealer on spots so that you don't use as much foundation. It's just all up to you and what you think you need. So I'm going to show you guys a couple here that I have. This is a corrective concealer, and this just has 4 of them. There has a green one and a pink one, and then 2 like skin colored ones. Now, just like the powder, there is corrective concealers that don't look like normal concealers. They're in different colors, and that's just going to counteract colors on your face. There's little ones in pots like this. This is Benefit's Erase Paste. You can put this on spots and under your eyes. There's some that come in like squeezy tubes, and then there's some that kind of come in like, it looks like lip gloss, but it's not, I promise. And you know, they come in different little types of things. And then they have also when it looks like lipstick, but it's not, it's just a stick, and it's a concealer. It looks like a skin colored lipstick is basically what it is. And you know, they all serve different purposes. There's some concealers that are only meant for under your eyes. There's some that are only meant for your scars, and you know, there are some that are multi-purpose. And it's just all about figuring out what concealer you need. Like if you need one that's under your eyes, you can get one that's brightening. If you need one that's for concealing like scars, you want to get something that's going to give you a little bit more coverage. Okay guys, so I hope I helped you out a little bit and kind of gave you a little bit of insight into what each product is and what they're used for. Now if you have any extra questions or just concerns about a certain product, then feel free to message me here on YouTube or to leave it in a comment below, and I will be more than happy to get to you. So until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.